Hello and welcome. Yeah, breaking. I mean, less than, I believe, 15 minutes ago, it was filed 9:52 a.m., but it wasn't brought to the public's attention until maybe 15-20 minutes ago. Hey folks, welcome. Judge Ingram, out. And it's an interesting reason, but a completely correct decision under these circumstances, which means Glanville out, Ingram out. You had two recusals from the disqualification order. They recused themselves. So that means 4 judges out of, I believe there are 20 judges in Fulton County, leaving 16. I'm a bit saddened because with her background and her current, she seems to be all about ethics, which means for me that, okay, let's see what's going on. But this will delay everything again. If you watched my stream yesterday, we went through how long this would take. But it seems like we might be in for a longer ride than I even could anticipate. So, with no further ado, here is her decision. In the Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia, v. Christian Eppinger et al., one of 18 defendants. Remember, on or about, this is her reason. On or about June 1st, 2023, Christian Eppinger, one of 18 defendants, was severed from the ongoing YSL RICO-Trial on the criminal action that was recently transferred to this court by random assignment. Although there is no severance order in the record, the court was apprised of the circumstances that directly led to Eppinger's severance. More specifically, the deputy assigned to and responsible for the courtroom and personal security of the undersigned for nearly 6 months was arrested. Yes, Judge Ingram's deputy was arrested. Said deputy, who was still assigned to this court at the time of her arrest, is accused of 1, colluding with defendant Eppinger during the current trial to commit a felony and to endangering the safety of citizens within the Fulton County Courthouse. Now, what might this be? What might this be? Her deputy made the boinky boink with Mr. Eppinger. Yeah. She had relations with her deputy, Judge Ingram's deputy, had relations with one of the defendants in this RICO. Let's see footnote 1, if it's here. State of Georgia, blah, blah, blah. Because this court former assigned deputy could be called as a witness in any future proceedings in this case, the court may be called upon to assess this deputy's credibility or rule on matters related to her criminal prosecution. This may undermine the public's confidence in the impartiality of the proceedings. While the court does not regard the aforementioned situation as creating any actual bias for or against any party of this case, the court does view this as a matter that could cause a reasonable person to question the court's impartiality and reasonably give rise to the appearance of impropriety should the court remain on this case. Rule 2.11 of the Georgia Code of Judicial Conduct provides that, quote, judges shall disqualify themselves in any proceeding in which their impartiality might reasonably be questioned. Commentary 2 to that rule provides that judges, quote, should disclose on the record or in open court information that the court believes the parties or the lawyers might consider relevant to the question of disqualification, even if they believe there is no legal basis for disqualification. Thus, after careful consideration and consistent with the CJC Rule 1.2a, promoting public confidence in the independence and impartiality of the judiciary, and CJC Rule 2.11a, requiring disqualification when the public might reasonably question the judge's impartiality, the undersigned hereby recuses herself from this criminal action. The clerk of court is directed to reassign this criminal action to another judge, so ordered the 17th day of July 2024. So yeah, this just happened. Shukura L. Ingram. So, here we go again. Another judge. And I'm a bit disappointed, as I said, because this judge was all about ethics, as it shows here in her notice that her order of recusal of herself. She's all about ethics. With this, sadly, she shows that she would have been the perfect fit for the Young Thug trial. Sadly, she yielded herself, as she should. New judge recused herself, yeah. So what now? Well, they are going to spin the wheel and see who's left. Now, this is getting interesting because now Judge Ingram has shown, in my opinion, the baseline of recusing yourself for the other judges. So if there are any other moments, might not be as severe as this, it might be some other reasons, but now she put a good baseline down. Here's the baseline for where you should recuse yourself. Now, we already, from the disqualification thingy, 2 judges recused themselves from hearing that, and it went to the 3rd judge, Judge Krause. Can Judge Krause go into this? I don't know. Cloak and Glomer says she actually sits on several Georgia ethic boards. This doesn't surprise me that she recused herself. She's a very ethical judge and her record reflects it. Exactly. And that is so saddening for me because she would have been a perfect fit. I don't know any. I mean, before I started covering this case, I knew nothing of the other judges, of any judges in Fulton County. Now I know that the chief judge should never set foot in a courtroom again unless he is a defendant. And yeah, Judge Krause, I mean, she did the cop-out by only addressing, well, she addressed the elephant in the room very badly with the ex parte meeting, which I believe her lack of analysis. Only one sentence about she doesn't believe the ex parte meeting was done badly, which I cannot see any judge with ethics actually. I don't know how she got there, but she couldn't avoid disqualifying Judge Glanville. So there might be, well, 2 we know of, Glanville and Ingram. Probably the other 2 as well. I think one of them is McAfee. And the 4th one, I don't know. So we are probably, out of 20 judges in Fulton County, we are down to 15 or 16 that might do this case. Brenda asks, is she recused from YSL or just stepping in? She is recusing herself from the entire RICO trial, the entire RICO case, since her deputy did the boinky boink with one of the defendants. Who hears the mistrial motion? We don't know. whoever the wheel sets on next. And I've seen nothing. Let's see here. If dun dun dun. If no, nothing about who is getting appointed yet. Ron Vaughn, so in theory, should the case continue? Well, it's on stay right now until they find a judge that actually will take the case. And I mean, it's remember what I said about the jurors, that if they find any reason to not come back, they might do so. I think the same applies to the judges. Nobody wants this because they have probably seen the absolute crap show that has been going on. The 6-month trial, as stated before the trial started, and we are now on first 100 days in 6 months plus. We have been off trial for over a month now. Hi, Heather. Did she recuse herself? Yes, she did. And now we are getting into, I see about the bond. Now we are getting into territory because if the judges start doing off-IF motions, they don't want to touch this, then we are getting into the area of it's more probable now than it was a week ago that they might consider bond, or at least call for a bond hearing. I'd see on 42. Question: at what point do they either force a judge to take it or move it out of Fulton County somehow? They should be there, but there are 15, 16 other judges to choose from, or to appoint by the spin of the wheel or something. Yeah, they can ask the Attorney General to appoint a special. No, that's only for special prosecutor. Oh, special judge. Do they have that in Georgia? I don't know. If the Attorney General moves in and says, you are presiding this case. It happens in other states, but in the middle of the trial? No worries, Kristen. I just came online as soon as I could. I was on Jeff over at Legal Vice's stream, and I saw the news, and I did an exit and an entry. So this is as new for me as it is for you. I'm just relaying the news at this time. Cloak and Gomer says, yes, the Georgia Special Judicial Board will do it. Yeah, I think that is a reasonable request at this time, to have a judge from another county from within Georgia to take over. At this point in time, that's reasonable. But from what we've seen in Atlanta, in the Fulton County, reasonable has not really been their forte as of now. But I was so hoping for Judge Ingram. I was so hoping. I was hopeful, at least. But now she's gone. I look very nice in peach. Thank you. Is this peach? I don't know. Light orange? Maybe that's peach. I have no idea. Oh, stopped raining. Sun is out. Kristen, this is moving fast. Do you think bonds are in play? I think they should start to consider it. Because if the court system itself can't find a judge, then why should the defendants be punished for it? And Gwendolyn, hello. Finally turned on chat. Good. Let's see. The 300 says this judge pulled the pilot in the Bible. She said, I wash my hands of this case and I remove myself. Yeah, but her background all about ethics. If her deputy hadn't done the boinky boink with one of the defendants, I believe she would have, well, she wouldn't have any choice. But now the Buster clock is ongoing again. And let's see what other judges are there. No, not magistrate judges. Superior court judges. View all judges. Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. At the stage. Meet yours. Okay. We know that Glanville is out. We know that Ingram is out. Let's see. And with the Glanville out and Ingram 17. Now I do know that McAfee also he recused himself from hearing the disqualification motion and one more. That means 15. So let's see who they are. Craig L. Schwall, Sr. The Superior Court of Fulton County since 2005. Professional experience, partner at a law firm, associate law firm, adjunct professor, member of the American Bar Association, and then he became a judge. So he's been a judge since 1996. He's been a judge. I mean, how old is that guy, and why does he have highlights in his hair? I don't know. Okay, so that is him. See, seems well. He's been a judge for long. Who is it? Kimberly Adams. No, Notre Dame Law School, Howard University. Senior Assistant Attorney, Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Okay. Employment Attorney. She's been a judge since 2009, and she was a district attorney before that. Oh, okay. Here's also things about her ethics. National Bar Judicial Council Board of Directors. And yeah, so this is also a judge that seems to be Gate City Bar Association Judicial Section. Yeah, this is a judge that also seems to be about ethics. I don't want Adams or Edwards. Okay. Who else have we here? Kelly Lee Ellerbe. Judge since 2011. I don't know any one of these. For you who just joined, Judge Ingram, here she is. She has recused herself. by an order of recusal, because as it is, her, I assume, former deputy in her courtroom had a boinky boink with one of the defendants in the RICO-Trial. One of the 18 severed from the 6 we are following currently. So, and I'm quite saddened about it. So she was appointed yesterday, and today she is out. Let's see, where were we? McBurney, been a judge since 2012. Oh, Harvard Law School, Harvard College. Assistant United States Attorney, Northern District of Georgia. Assistant District Attorney, Fulton County. Okay. So, seasoned. But it seems like he went from law school directly to being a prosecutor and then being a judge. Kristen Vasquez says, love him, he good. Okay. Jane Barwick, been a judge since 2012. University of Georgia School of Law since 1979. Oh, okay. He has an impressive CV. So what are other? Thomas Cox Jr., judge since 2017, Boston College Law School. And professional experience. Okay, this is good. He has been attorney's office 92 to 97. Partner at the law firm, partner at the law firm, partner at the law, member of law firm, partner at the law firm. So yeah, he's been doing a lot of outside of not being a judge work. Methodist, named Georgia Super Lawyers, published legal author, adjunct law professor. Well, who else have we? Eric Dunaway, judge since 2017, law school 1996, only been a prosecutor and then a judge. Cloak and Gloma says Adams is very tight with DAs. We don't want that. Edwards, Belinda, Chief Judge, Juvenile Court, Judge, Fulton County Juvenile, Judge since 2008. BA in Economics, MBA in Finance, Georgia State University, College of Law. And Edwards is super anti-gang. Okay. Who else? How do we have it? Judge Paige Reese Whitaker. Judge since 2017, Duke School of Law. Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude, Political Science, College of Charleston. Former prosecutor. Senior Assistant Attorney General, Criminal Justice Division, Georgia Department of Law. Board of Governors, State Bar of Georgia. That's good. Georgia Commission on Family Violence. Treasurer, Lawyers Club of Atlanta. Okay. Atlanta Bar Association, Federalist Society. Okay. Dementia cash. At this point, a person would have to be living like a priest with all eyes on this trial. I understand, because they will have eyes on them after all the shadiness that has been going on. And if you're closer to the prosecution's office, that I'm not a big fan of. Let's see who's next. Kevin Farmer, judge since 2018. Juris Doctor, Georgia Law School, Bachelor of Science, Political Science, University of Wisconsin. District Attorney's Office. Senior Attorney, Metro Conflict Defenders Office. That's good. Division of the Georgia Public Defenders Council. Fulton County Public Defenders Office. That I like. But he went from public defenders to Senior Assistant District Attorney. He has a gap between 2011 and 2015. I don't know. Coke and Glomar Farmer would be good. Rachel Krause, we've seen her, and she believes that Judge Neville did nothing wrong in the ex parte meeting. So, yeah, I hope not for her. Emily Richardson, judge since 2019. Emory and Duke, District Attorney. District Attorney, Assistant Attorney General. Okay, so she went from law school to prosecution to judge. I don't know. I don't know any. I haven't watched any trials with these people, so I don't know. I really don't know. M3 times 100. Do you care about thug or just the clout? There's actually a third option. Due process, Constitution, Bill of Rights. That is what I care about. Trials are always different. I mean, I've been covering a bunch of trials. Now, I am always pro-defense. You can count on that. And why is that? Well, Jesus. Why is that? For you who don't know, hello, I'm Nick. I do labor law. I defend workers on a daily basis. That is and I've been doing that for over 30 years. But that's not the only reason. It is the presumption of innocence. Once you get into the courtroom, everything is set to zero. Everything. When you walk into a courtroom and look over to the defendant's office, if your first thought is, wonder what they did, you're doing wrong. What you should do is turn to the prosecution's table and wonder, oh, what do they claim they did? Because you shouldn't go into a courtroom 50-50. Oh, I wonder who's right, who's wrong, who's right. No, it should start with 100% on the prosecution. Okay, you need to prove all of that. That person over there, do I have a personal skin in the game when it comes to Young Thug? Not really. But throughout this trial, yeah, I started to kind of like the guy and the other defendants. I mean, they have been in jail since May of 2022. That's not right. And this trial that should have taken 6 months, we are now 8 months in. Yes, Vodka Blood. How shady is the government in this situation? Ron Barnes says, if it comes down to it, can the governor appoint a senior judge to take this case? The Attorney General, I believe, in the case of Georgia, can appoint a special judge. Let's see here. Where were we? Yeah, Judge Emily K. Richardson, directly from law school to prosecution's office, and then judge. I don't like that career path. I don't like it. She might be excellent. I don't know. I know nothing about her. Who else? Rachel Carnsale. Judge since 2019, Emory, Bachelor of Arts, with highest honors, political science, North Carolina, Chapel Hill. We don't know yet, the cameraman. I haven't seen anything about the new appointee, but they have to appoint it to somebody, and probably today. Probably today. And I'm scouring because, as with everything else regarding this trial, let's see what Thugger Daily has written. And not yet on a new trial. And here to help me with the discussion. Hello, Kat.
Hello.
Hello. I'm just going through what other judges are left in Fulton County.
It feels like a pageant or like a clue game where you have all the faces and you can tick people down one by one.
Yeah. I mean, who do we wish for? What does the chat say? Oh, that's not good. We rather want that one. And I'm a bit disappointed because just looking at the order of recusal shows me she would be the excellent choice for this trial because she has ethics.
Unless she was just like, how can I get out of this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll use that as an excuse because I just don't want it, right? Because it could be either way.
Yeah, but the circumstances, yeah, I kind of understand.
It's going to be hilarious. There's like 17 remaining choices. Imagine we get through like 4 or 5 more that are automatically assigned, and then they all recuse themselves for any reason they can find because they want out. These like superficial little teeny reasons that they're going to find, it's going to be so comical to see their rulings, why they're going to step down.
Yeah.
Compared to how Judge Glanville was like, I don't need to step down.
Yeah.
Like,
now
everyone's gonna be like, the sky's blue, I gotta resign. And Glanville's like, I took place in an ex-party meeting, I can stay, it's fine.
Yeah. But looking at the reason here, did you read it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Her deputy did the boinky boink with one of the defendants. I mean, it sort of is a valid reason, sort of. I mean, she could say that I kicked her out, fired her, she's under arrest. But as she says, her deputy might be a witness and the appearance of impartiality. What's good with her reasoning here is she sets the bar. Here's mine.
Appearance.
Yeah.
Not
it's
actual.
Appearance, not actual. It's the appearance.
And a deputy that no longer works here. But Brian Steele, with the contempt order, said, hey, your deputies, you guys could be witnesses to this. How can you preside over something where your own staff is going to be your witness? And he's like, it's fine. Like, for 2 weeks, he said it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's... but I assume he have to have talked with someone, because you simply don't change your mind that overnight. I mean, he must have had a talk with, or he simply read the Georgia Supreme Court denial decision and, oh crap.
Yeah, that was a loud whisper.
Yeah, that was a really loud whisper. Because if he continued, this would be appealed, and the Georgia Supreme Court would, with the wording in that, nah.
Yeah, well, in a way, it's like his name is going to get more and more distant from this. Every time there's a new judge assigned, it will... He's kind of off-ramped successfully.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting. You saw that Doug Weinstein was like hinting that he put together some motions last night to file?
Yep.
So that might be filed today.
Yeah. And don't know when, don't know. And now with the new judge, well, now they have to change who they are addressing, because at the moment, I haven't seen news about anybody being appointed.
No, it was still showing Judge Ingram as the name.
Yeah. Judge McBurney is an awesome judge. He streams his court and is super fair. I've been watching him for a long time. He's also lead in the JQC panel. Okay. And you do not want Carnsale. She's top 3 of the worst you can get. She was with Children's Services, or was more about power than law. Yeah, I don't have much faith in what's been going on in children's services and stuff like that. Especially not of, especially not of, I mean, the Maya case. And what people should know, that's not a unique case with Maya. That happens all the time, everywhere. And since it's about juveniles, the records are sealed. We will never find out. So I'm just going, But then again, people say, oh, this judge is fine, this judge is fine. Yeah, everybody thought Judge Glanville was fine until he started presiding this trial. And now we know he wasn't fine. Let's see. Thank you, Damisha. Hey. Let's see. If you have questions now when we are 2 here.
I think I would say the cameraman says it doesn't matter if they get a new judge, the case is reversible. So it's kind of like, imagine they go through this chain of judges recusing themselves and then they end up just granting. The one that's stuck is like, I'm going to grant this motion to mistrial for prosecutorial misconduct.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Yeah. I mean, out of the 17 left. Now, I remember two judges recused themselves for the disqualification motion. Will they recuse themselves to the entire RICO trial? I don't know, but that would bring from 17 to 15. And somewhere along those 15, there must be a judge who thinks Judge Glanville is a butthole, or believes that the prosecution is buttholes. I mean, maybe not, maybe.
Even the judges' take on calendar management and jury purity, right? Like, it might not even have to do with prosecutorial misconduct. It could be, what are we going to do about the jury? Like, their question, they could lean without having to come at Miss Love and say, like, look, there's just no way to bring this back up. We had a sworn witness that was under testimony in the middle of all of this happening. There's no proper way to rewind or instruct the jury. Tell them something that would actually cure the harm that doing things in this way.
Yeah. And as I said in yesterday's stream, now what's happening now is the judges need the appointed judge needs to clear their docket. That doesn't happen in a weekend. I mean,
and not in Fulton County.
And I mean, they are in the middle of a trial. They are in the middle of cases. They are in the middle of everything. Whoever takes over the cases must be brought up. And I mean, and then they have to read up on everything, not just what happened in trial, but pre-trial as well. They have to be read up on everything. And my rough conservative estimation, handing over cases a month, getting caught up in this 3 months. And then once they are caught up, now we have all the motions to dismiss.
Yeah, all the new motions.
All the new motions. I mean, we are 4.5. If anything happens in this case, once they find a judge, and it happens within 4.5 months, something's up. And it's either, let's just go through it, or rubber stamp, dismissed.
Even the time that a judge is getting caught up is time that they can't be dealing with their court calendar days, because they're not going to be doing their 8 to 5, whatever their court days are scheduled for, and then go home and spend 8 hours catching up off the clock. Like, so that means all these other cases, they're going to be pushed back. They're going to get backlogged. So even if a judge gets through just 4 cases a month, and this disrupts another year, and then maybe there would be a retrial where we've got to go through another year and another year. Like, think about how many people are not going to have their day in court for months out, years out, because they're going to try to if they try to retry this case or salvage what's left of it.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about long trials, the mind always go to the O.J. Simpson trial. But they had basically no breaks in 9 months. This case, 100 trial days, of which 63 were full days in 6 months. That's 10 days per month were full days.
Well, and we're right on the cusp of 30 days from the jury being... So was that the 18th of June? That we got the news that they're not coming back until July 8th, and then obviously that didn't happen. So they've been off for like 30 days at this point.
Yeah, because they were excused already on the 12th. And then they were brought in, and then they were finally completely excused back. Don't talk about this. We will call you. That could have been around the 17th. And
they've had like a summer break.
Yeah. And what are they supposed to just sit at home on their thumbs doing nothing, twiddly?
Yeah, because I think you never just go and
no
back
news.
To work.
Yeah. No, go back to work after being off for everybody on that workplace knows exactly what's been going on. How do you avoid getting news? You can't. I mean, it's basically impossible. And then remember the facts. Now that's really hard even during trial, and now they're off for a month, and they will probably be off for another 4.5 months. And that's not fair to the jurors.
I think they need to like sue civilly for for harm, financial harm, emotional distress. Like Fulton County, why are you doing this to us?
Yeah.
And what if they just lose? Don't they only have 2 alternates left?
2 or 3. I'm not entirely sure.
What if they just end up losing them? Like, what if this just becomes a question of attrition?
And one was recused because she moved out of county. Now, I'm not suggesting it to any jurors, but fucking off might be a good idea to move to the neighboring county. I don't.
Oh my god, they could have burned through a 12-month lease somewhere at this point.
Yeah. And they might now when they are back. Well, they can't be fired because they are technically still jurors.
And I think we need to address the cameraman in the chat. We don't think that this case should continue. But it's not up to us to decide that. And there have been instances, especially in certain parts of this country, where things should have been a mistrial. Double jeopardy should have come into play.
Yeah.
But if a judge is nice and decides it's just reversible error, that it's harmless, that doesn't mean that we would think that it was harmless error.
No. We are just speculating how on earth could this trial even go on. I've been shouting from the rooftops for months about the misconduct from the prosecution and the judge. Months and months and months. That this should be thrown out immediately. And so no, I don't want this to continue. I'm just giving out my speculation about how long will it take this trial to restart, if it even will restart.
Yep.
So that is...
With Krause, we saw a very kind off-ramp. It wasn't the judge engaged in misconduct. As we here in the chat might say, Glanville engaged in misconduct and violated his own judicial code of conduct for how to handle ex parte meetings. But Judge Krause didn't find that. She said that she generally agrees with the assessment that the meeting was proper. So if we use Judge Krause's ruling as an example of how someone might handle a motion for a mistrial, we might end up in the same boat. Like, well, we don't really find that it rises to the level of harmful error. We don't really find that, whatever the case may be. So Supreme Court could say, look, we think there was an error, but it's reversible. It can be retried. We're going to send it back down to the trial court, which then puts it in DA Love's hand, probably, and Fani Willis to decide, do we want to do this again? And quite frankly, I think they'll say yes, because they've been stupid and made stupid decisions all along. So if it comes down to the state having the choice as to whether or not they can retry, what do you guys think? So I'd say they shouldn't. I'm sure most of the chat would say they shouldn't. But we're not the ones that get to decide how things actually play out.
No, that's up to the Fulton County Superior Court. Whichever judge is next. And as Ron Bond says, these judges don't want to step on each other's toes. Yeah, that's a real thing in the judiciary. Judges protecting judges. Now, Judge Krause, she couldn't avoid disqualifying Judge Glanville because the rules are really that clear. But then she made in her ruling, because that was completely unnecessary, that he did nothing wrong in his ex parte meeting, without addressing any of the statutes, any of the rules, anything. She just made that suggestion. Which
generally agrees. She did put one small qualifier that I think saves her own butt. Generally.
Yeah. Kayla is re-uploading her content. All her stuff was deleted somehow last night. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, all of her videos were just gone, and the links say user deleted, so she doesn't really have an answer on why that was happening. But someone had mentioned they just saw me on her live, but it was like a premiere, like it was a re-upload of an old stream, which you'll probably see. Like, that sucks. YouTube has done weird things in the last week or so who knows what was happening.
Yeah.
And then people were restreaming her entire streams, other channels, so I don't know if maybe they looked at her as maybe a channel that was just repeating other people's content, even though she's the original source for it.
Yeah, that even if it's stupid, it has happened before. It has happened before. The cameraman giving you a sub. I like this conversation. Do I agree with that? Yes. Or did you mean the other thing above? Any continuation of the trial would be misconduct by the court and would require a recusal for that conduct separately from the Glanville's conduct. I don't know if it arises to that level because it's under the judge's discretion on the rulings. Do I agree with it should be just thrown out? Yes. But that's my opinion from me. I'm not based in the United States even. Morally, yes. Judicially, I don't know because I'm not that. I mean, I know a bunch about Georgia RICO, but I don't know much about how they apply these rules. No, the other after that. Giving you a sub.
Nobody wants it. I really don't think any of these judges want this case.
What happens if nobody takes the case? They go to I believe they go to the Attorney General. Cameraman, write it again.
Issues.
Cameraman, write it again because I don't see that comment. I'm doing this via StreamYard, and sometimes they lose comments. But what happens if nobody takes the case, or if everybody recuses themselves? Now, I believe it's the Attorney General to appoint a special judge. Kristen Vasquez, Kayla should stay low since all this is crazy. They might try to use her posts. You never know. I don't know. You have the freedom of speech, but then again, she had Mr. Woody.
Well, on the flip side, as a defense attorney, maybe that's a positive. Maybe kicking this trial back off, the jury is like, oh my God, we got to come back again. The state has to be a bit rattled in their case. They are in the middle of having their star witness on the stand that they need to lay foundation for upcoming witnesses, and hasn't even undergone cross yet. But the defense has all this fodder they can use to poke holes at Kenneth Copeland's testimony. So, I mean, maybe it'd be that's okay. Maybe it'd be a win. And maybe the defense attorneys will separate here. Maybe they'll diverge on their strategies. But I think at least one defense attorney would come out and say, let's just keep going. Let's get an acquittal. I think we can get an acquittal because this jury can't want to give the state a win.
Yeah, that might be an option, but I think they're going for dismissal with prejudice as
Yeah,
the
that's the
only.
strongest. And I think prosecutorial, not just judge. Like, it's going to be Hilton counseling a witness, offering legal advice to a witness in an ex parte meeting with this witness multiple times, trying not to check for attorney representation, just ignoring the elephant in the room. Didn't want to look at our own court records to see that Melnick has represented Kenneth Copeland before.
Yeah.
All of that stuff.
Liano Fear, is there a scenario where the DA has to give bond? Is the judge selection process taking another month or more? Is this a path to dismiss that due to lack of speedy trial? Speedy trial is already gone. That's already gone.
Speedy trial would kick back in if there was a mistrial and then a retrial slated, and then they took too long to kick off the retrial.
Yeah. DA has to give bond. That's up to the judge, but they need to. In that case, they need to apply for a bond hearing, and then it's the DA or the prosecutor who opposes, and then it's the judge's decision. Is the judge selection process takes another month or more? No, they will just spin the wheel and appoint the next one. So one a day. So they have 15 to 17 weekdays to find a judge. Hello, Ghost. Hello, Ghost. Copeland captivated everyone. No way the jury is not thinking about his testimony. I'm more not worried, but this going on a month. I mean, they've already been gone for a month. And not reading the news. I mean, the news about Judge Glanville recused was everywhere on many channels, in the news, local radio. It was everywhere. So avoiding that, I don't think it's physically possible to avoid getting that news alone.
No, and you know, they always put a face to it too. You're gonna remember, like, that's the judge that I'm sitting over this trial with. Like, the news never comes without a face. So even if you don't read the headline, you're gonna still see someone's picture plastered somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you walk by a convenience store, they have the poster of the news out, and you just glance by and it says Glanville disqualified. Boom. Does anyone know if Love or Hilton has a social media page? I haven't looked, and I don't know if I care enough to know. Oh, Love and Hilton, they aren't talking. Oh, no. They filed a really, really bad reply to the disqualification. Really, really bad.
Well, to be fair, it was just Love. It was just
it was just Love. What happens if all 17 disqualify themselves? I believe the Attorney General will appoint a judge.
And the Attorney General's not playing either. He was just in some news holding a prosecutor account. I think it was a prosecutor accountable. Yeah. I don't really remember the story, but he chose to indict someone that was alleged to be taking public funding. So maybe he's good for that. Maybe he doesn't play around.
Yeah, and now you have, in short time, Judge Peterson removed, Judge Glanville disqualified. You have that prosecutor. I mean, Georgia doesn't look good now. From
the deputy story too isn't great.
Yeah, no, the deputy story isn't great either. And that was, let's see here.
You're watching your jail boo beat
June
up
1st, 2023.
your coworkers.
Yeah. That was, in June of last year, the deputy, and that went a little bit under the radar. Not anymore.
Well, I think the bigger deal then was they wanted to take the defense attorney's laptop, which is sketch all around because that could be attorney-client privilege issues. So, right, they wanted to take Eppinger, was it Eric, what's his name? Eric Jackson? They wanted to confiscate his laptop, defense counsel, but you, like, if you don't trust a prosecutor, do you trust that the prosecutor's not going to go through and look through your communications about how you represent your clients?
Yeah.
Your strategy for defense? So
Well,
they
yeah,
had
that
seized his
thing.
laptop to look at social media messaging between
Mm.
Chris Eppinger and the deputy and anybody else. And that's where they say they happen to have seen
Yeah.
back and forth between the accounts.
Mm. Yeah. I still haven't seen. Cameraman, that question you had that wasn't the one I put up. They might be scrubbing. If you use the word fuck and stuff like that, that is the one word I have scrubbed because I don't want, because what you write in the chat also reflects on my channel and gets it demonetized. Now I can demonetize myself. I have no problems doing that. But please don't do that to me what I can do myself. So no curses, then I don't know. Send me a DM on Twitter. Here's my Twitter. It should be open.
Yeah, and still no reassignment of the judge. It's still showing Ingram.
Yeah, I'm watching Thugger daily because no, nothing new there. Nothing new there. Okay. Here's because the initial misconduct being of a criminal nature, that makes this entire case poison. Anyone that would try to continue it would be conducting misconduct themselves, if not dismissing. Initial misconduct being of a criminal nature, that would be the ex parte meeting. Since Woody was coerced, allegedly, in my opinion at least. But that would be a finding of the new judge in that case. I assume it will be in their motions to dismiss to the new judge, whoever that will be. So I understand your logic, but that would be up to the new judge. I don't think they can go directly to try to continue it with be conducting misconduct themselves if not dismissing, because they have the alternative to dial back the trial to before Woody started testifying. However, that is possible. But yeah. So what happens next? Well, I guess we have to wait until later today or tomorrow to see who the new judge is and how that judge reacts to this.
Right, they're going to get an assignment, and then the next day we're going to get the recusal.
Yeah. So it might take
17.
Yeah, so it might take 34 trial days to get through to one judge. Yeah. Do you have any final words, Kat?
No. I honestly don't blame Shakura. I think it's a great reason if she's doing it on the merits that she's citing, especially with the argument of public confidence, because that's really important for this trial more than ever before because so many eyes are on it. You can't act like the public has confidence in something when hundreds of thousands of people are screaming in YouTube comments and on X and on Facebook that this is ridiculous. It's obviously not something the public has confidence in. But at the same time, I also don't blame her if she was just looking for a reason to get out of there.
No, absolutely
honestly,
not.
Morally, ethically, I'd feel like I'd be best suited to see several dozen cases through to justice rather than switch everything, upend it, and go and have to relearn another case.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good final words. We are Jar! But we are an hour in, and I have nothing more to add until tomorrow or next news. But I assume if there is a new judge, Kat will get to it because I have
I'm
stuff
gonna
to
make
do.
a clue board. We gotta make a clue board.
Okay. Now I will be. Oh, let's see here. Can I send you off somewhere? Redirect. Let's see
Yeah, who's up right now?
Who's up right now? Let's see here. Dun, 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 redirect.
Oh, Kayla's live. I think it's actually live. She's talking about the recusal.
I can't redirect.
She might not have redirects. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have any. So, but folks, the infamous Sylvia is live. Thank you, Aaron Rabbit, for being a member for 10 months. That's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. Or EDB. I mean, there are a lot of channels out there, and I assume you folks know your way around YouTube. But thank you, everybody.
I'll probably see you guys in a chat somewhere else. I'm gonna go find something to watch too.
Yeah. Hug your family. Unless your family's crap, then screw them and give your love to the people who deserve it. Until next time, bye-bye.